Hey, what's going on, guys? How's it going? So you've got quite a few people in the chat already. How you doing, Ryan Don, Turbo Chad, Brian Jacobs, Just a Pineapple, what a name, Troy Davison, Top Tier Gaming, loads of people in the chat. How you doing, troops? How you doing? Hopefully you like what you see. We've changed a few things up over the past few days and weeks, hence the reason we haven't really been able to get much content out, guys. But we speculate to accumulate all that good stuff. Still got another 2 weeks or so, another week or two is worth of upgrades to do, but those are things that potentially you won't really notice. Okay, so it's a few upgrades to kit and equipment that will be running, especially for the podcast that we've got dropping at the end of the month. So yeah, things like microphones, equalizers. I need one of those Rode, the I can't even remember what you call it now, but it basically keeps all of the sound perfect and stuff like that. So I've got quite a few things that I need to get sorted. For that table there, actually, this is where we're going to be running the podcast from. If you haven't been keeping up to date, guys, with what we're doing is we've basically converted an area in my house, the garage, effectively into this studio. So the view which you're seeing now, I'm going to be running Dit Commando, the main channel that we run. Going to run all the content from this view here with a few other things. And then the Just Boxing podcast, what we've got going on. It's going to be a podcast, going to be tutorials, teaching, that kind of stuff as well. And maybe a few interviews, maybe a few interviews with a professional boxer. Going to try and get into that, but that's all on the Just Boxing podcast channel, and that's where it's going to be done with my dad. And I'll show you an angle in a few seconds. I've connected my iPhone up so I can show you around the studio in just a few seconds before we get into the Ukraine update. So yeah, rest assured that's what we're going to be doing today. But I'll show you around the studio a little bit, let you know what we're getting up to and stuff. But yeah, I just thought I wanted to create a space that's kind of interactive with each other. So I've got quite a few channels. I wanted to tie all of the individual ideas in together, but without encroaching on it too much. So this is the main view for this channel. In a week or two, we'll have a few other angles added to this channel. So you're not just going to see me from this view, and you're not just going to see me from this view, and you're not just going to see me from this view. You're gonna see me from in quite a few different ways. Okay, so it's all going to be interactive. But what I wanted to create was a space where, although this might be my channel on Dit Commando now, this part here you'll be able to recognize that from the Just Boxing channel, so to speak. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense, guys. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. How you doing, troops? Got quite a few members in the chat at the moment. Troops, if you're brand new here, the most important thing you can do when you very first get onto the channel is just hammer that like button, hit it home, and then before you know it, the views will be flown through the roof because it tells YouTube that people are interested. So if you just hit the like button right now, it would help me an awful lot, guys. So yeah. Hey, Don Backer, how you doing, buddy? Got Don Backer in the chat, moderating as always. Right, let me see if this works. Yeah, it does. So like always, and we'll get into it mainly after then. In the next 5 minutes or so, we're going to do a few admin points. I'm going to take you around the studio, show you the studio, all that good stuff. Then we will get into the good stuff. All right, the questions. Now, if you do a super chat question, or if you're a member and the question's quite pertinent what we're talking about, I'll bang it up on the screen like so. So you get to be featured on the channel, for one, but two, it highlights your question for all to see as well, adding to the flavour of the conversation, if that makes sense. So that's what we're going to be doing. All good? Cool beans. Let me know where you're watching from, troops. Let me know exactly where you're watching from. If you're from the United Kingdom, let's go. We're getting quite a few more people from the UK watching the channel, actually. But yeah, this background is going to change a little bit more. I've got a few other things that I'm going to be doing with the background. Not much. I think it looks all right at the moment. But this table here I literally made this thing out of a cable roller. So the things that you joint the cables together to bring power from power stations to houses. A friend of mine gave me this, and I just refurbished it, made it look nice, put it on some. In fact, let's show you. I'm trust me, guys. I'm hideous with computers, so don't ask me how I know how to do this stuff because I'm terrible at it. But let's give this a go. Let's see. Let me know if you can see this actually. Boom. Yeah, you can. Right, so you might not be able to hear me. So this area here is effectively, if I could zoom out, you'd see that it's a bigger space than it looks. This area here is going to be where we're going to do the Just Boxing podcast. Now, behind that daft plant, I'm going to get like a neon light with the Just Boxing channel logo on. So that's going to be there. This light is going to get replaced because I'm just using it for the current video setup. A few things that I can hide under the table there because the main view is going to be from this area here. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to have an angle over in the corner there to look at my dad, and an angle over here kind of thing, somewhere there looking at me. So it's going to be 3 camera angles. 1, 2, 3. That kind of thing. Okay. Look at that. Look at me. Check that out. Oh, technology. It took me about half an hour to connect this iPhone to my computer. So, but yeah, this is it. Behind me here is, well, I'll be honest with you guys. My mum picked these. So thanks, Mummy Commando for squaring me away, and my dad as well. So. Yeah, Man Cave, because it is a Man Cave YouTube studio. 40 Commando plaque to the right hand side of that, because that's the first unit that I pertain to. There's the old Commando stuff. So we've got quite a few things going on. That there, it'll become more pertinent. That little today is April, Friday, 22nd. That'll come a bit more apparent on the Gen Date, on the Just Boxing podcast. So yeah, that's it. And actually, yeah, over here is an empty space at the moment. I'm going to do, well, I've got a green screen up there to be able to do some recording for more of the editing stuff, the heady editing stuff. So things that our good friend, the Estonian soldier, is doing, Arta Rehi, I'll be able to do that there. But this is going to be, get some gym equipment there. As you can see, it's just a garage, guys. But yeah. But that's it, troops. So let's turn this off. Boom. So that's that. I'm quite happy with that camera, actually. That little cam thing that we did there. Let's get some likes in the chat for me being an absolute IT wizard. But right, sorry. Oh yeah, and in the screen that I'm currently using, I pinched off my wife because she got like a screen delivered for work, and as soon as it got delivered, I decided to pinch it. So yeah, that's why we got 3 screens now, which does bloody help. But we've come a long way from the start of this little venture, guys. So. You know, irrespective of what people think of it, I'm really happy. I'm really proud. Like we started YouTube a little over 2 years ago out of quite a desperate situation, actually. I'm not going to get too much into it at this moment. I might do a proper video on it, actually, and show you some of the footage that we were doing and how we were doing it. And I remember it would take me about 14 hours, and I would work all 14 hours to get these videos out, and they were crap still. But I thought I had a bit of an idea in my brain. I was really embarrassed at the time to do it. I really used to worry about what people would think and stuff like that. But I was in a situation where I just really needed to do something and to grasp something in life. Coming from the military, where I was extremely proud to tell everyone what I was doing, I felt as if I was lacking in life a little bit after the military, and it got to a point where I wasn't really fulfilling wasn't too happy with what I was doing in life. I wasn't proud anymore. So the fact that I could, I was working towards trying to get that feeling again of where I was proud to be the owner of something. I was a proud owner of being a Royal Marine, if that makes sense. And started off a little embarrassed, but I was quite desperate at the time to have something tangible, something that was going to earn revenue as well for my family, and I needed something, guys. Okay, and this was it took 2 years to get to this point, but it's been a bloody good year and a half. I would say it's been really good. So can't complain. Nearly 250,000 subscribers just on one YouTube channel. We've got subscribers on other YouTube channels. So things aren't too bad, and just want to say thanks, guys. So yeah, this behind me might not mean a lot to some, but to me, it's like I'm mega proud of this. Like I'm mega proud of this. Like I can open up my garage door and get to work, and if I want to go have a cup of tea and see my daughter playing, and watch her grow up every single day, I get to do that. That's so I'm proud of that, if that makes sense. But anyway, enough of me talking absolute codswallop. Troops, if you want to become a member, the link is in the description. It really does help me out. And that's that. Right, I need to do something. On. So that's that. That's that. Why is that doing that? But where is the other scene going? Right, we've encountered our first problem, actually. Bang, bang, that's on there. Right, how do we do this? Bear with me, troops. That's why. Wait a second. Let me add. Why is that doing that? So that's that. We don't want that. Boom. There we go. Why have I added a video capture device to there? So that's that. That's that. Hey, McEwen's with the super chat. That's what I was actually trying to check, to be fair. I didn't know if it was working or not. McEwen's, thank you for your super chat, brother. You're saying enjoy the new setup. Wish I had more to help out. No, like anything is helping out. So troops, let's get out of that mindset about wishing more and stuff. Don't worry. It's like I'm just happy that you guys are here in the first place, first and foremost. Okay, that's the main thing. Sound level dropped. Sound level dropped? Probably because I wasn't looking at it, to be fair. But thank you for your super chat. That helps out so much, guys. Thank you, McEwen's. I appreciate you, brother or sister, whatever you are. I don't know because it's just a name. There was an old like rave nightclub place called the McEwen's, right next to where I live or used to live. 135 troops in the chat. So anyway, a little bit of feedback. What do you think about the setup, troops, so far? What do you think before we get into this? So there's the pre-live for this channel anyway. There's the pre-live. There's just another scene I was messing about with. What that's going to be is a different angle when I get a different camera. I need a cam catcher card or something like that. And this one is just what we're using for the time being. I like the circle effect because I was going to use a green screen, but I thought, well, what's the point of making all this background and stuff if we're going to use a green screen all the time? Do you know what I mean? So that was my thought process behind this. And because I've got that there, I need to move this here, I think. Yeah, that'll work. Sorry, troops, just a bit of trial now. So, yeah, that's that. That's that. Boom, that's that. We'll stay on pre-live for a little bit. But anyway, little bit of feedback. What's going on, troops? How are you all doing? Yeah, I think we're ready to start getting some content out now, like on a very regular basis, like we were doing before. I'm a massive fan of Speak the Truth. I'm a massive fan of Jameson's Travels. I'm a massive fan of Original Human, Bootneck Gamer, Combat Arms channel, the Estonian soldier Arthur Rehi. All of these types of channels, all right, that I'm a massive fan of. And what I try to do is, and I make I'm not ashamed about this at all. I look at their channels and think, right, that's fantastic on their channel. I want to incorporate that on mine. So please feel free to offer advice and send little tips of advice every now and again about, this channel, because I do look at them and I do try to replicate what they do good, because I truly believe that's to be an innovator this day and age. Many people think that you've got to come up with something new and you've got to have a brand new idea that's never been thought of before. Guys, 99% of things have already been thought of before. It's just about replicating it, and then you either make it good or you make it bad based on your own input. So I'm a massive fan of taking snippets of positivity from loads of other channels, and this inspiration is from all of those channels that I've just mentioned there. Most of you guys probably watch them channels as well. So that's what you're seeing here. Troy Davison, thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. I appreciate that, brother. As well as Brian Jacobs, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. That's very, very kind of you guys indeed. And it's very humbling that I've got such a wonderful community who tune in every single time I go live, and just extremely kind. Honestly, I'm very, very, very thankful. Tisnicius, I don't know if I've spelled your name, pronounced your name. You see, like the new setup and the black background is nice. Yeah, wanting to go for something a little bit different. I don't know why I went with, but black is a well, it's not a color, it's a tone. Technically, getting all technical now. It's my favorite look. I love black. It's not a color. It's a tone, isn't it? But yeah, I like the way it looks. So hopefully, it's a little bit of a nightmare though, because I've used matte black paint and it does mark up pretty. But hey, I'm boring you now with that crap, so it doesn't really matter too much. But thank you guys for the kind super chat donations. Right then, so yeah, Speak the Truth is a very good channel. It's a really, really good channel, to be fair, guys. Really, really good channel. And yeah, it goes without saying, these people know what they're talking about, and I'm a massive fan of them as well. So I'm just trying to replicate and give you guys as good a content as theirs, because my aim is to be as good as them as channels. I'm never complacent with thinking I'm already there. In the military, when I was a Royal Marine, or I am a Royal Marine, but when I was an active serving Royal Marines Commando, it was drummed into us to never really rest on your laurels when you've achieved something great. You can always strive for that little bit extra. Don't think because you've achieved something you can just lay off. So I try to take that mentality with this, just because the channel's doing good. There's always ways to improve, and that's my aim, and I'll continue to do that. So whatever at the moment, whatever I earn, whatever I learn from YouTube, all of that, it goes back into the channel, believe it or not, because I think the long-term investment is going to be worthwhile on it. My aim is to have multiple channels that are successful, so it's not just this channel I want to be successful. I want other channels to be successful. But anyway, super chat from Chris Supertramp. You're saying, thank you for your super chat, buddy. You're saying, the studio looks great. Is Ali your favourite boxer? Right, actually, no, he's not. I spoke to my dad about this today, believe it or not. Muhammad Ali is not my favourite boxer. He used to be when I was growing up. I appreciate the absolute unbelievable genius that Ali brought to the boxing community. Is he a legend? Absolutely. Is he one of the greatest of all time? Absolutely. Can't be disputed, really. Definitely a top 10 individual. Now, we're going off topic slightly, but I want to answer this question because I was speaking about it today. Believe it or not, that picture for me, right there, is not so much about celebrating Ali's victory over Sonny Liston, but more the other way around, about wanting to celebrate the sad, tragic life of the man who Muhammad Ali knocked out, Sonny Liston. When you look into his story, I think he's got a fascinating story. He died penniless, under very, very suspicious circumstances in an apartment in, I can't remember if it was New York or somewhere, but he died pretty much down and out. So I'm more of an underdog type of person, okay? And that photo for me is more so for Sonny Liston, believe it or not. If you know your boxing, it's easy to follow suit and go, oh, this is the greatest boxer, but because everyone says it is. But look into the story of Sonny Liston and you'll see that he wasn't as bad as people made out to be. He did some bad things, but you need to look into it a little bit more. It's kind of tragic as well. It's kind of tragic. So, but yeah, that's that. I'm more of a fan of most of Ali's opponents as some of his, Joe Frazier, for instance. Now, what he did for Muhammad Ali was fantastic. You look into the story behind Joe Frazier and you'll like him an awful lot, especially him helping Muhammad Ali when he was going through the prison problems and stuff. Yeah, guys. Anyway, we digress. Whoa, massive super chat from Spencer Onyxon. I hope I've pronounced your name right there and I haven't butchered it to death. But thank you for that super chat. That's the biggest super chat of the stream so far. That is amazing. Thank you, Spencer. Where are you watching from, Spencer? My guess is Sweden. But thank you, guys. Don Backer. Yeah, you haven't laptop problems, buddy. Been there, done that, and hopefully we haven't got the t-shirt anymore. Yeah, I've literally found out what most of my problems on YouTube were associated with the fact that I was trying to run a quite a complex stream from a bedroom with 1 bar of Wi-Fi signal, and I was complaining of why is that happening, and yeah, now that I know, all I needed to do was get a bloody Ethernet cable to sort that problem out, and hopefully we're not having any problems on my stream. We're not anyway. I don't want to jinx it, but hey, it's a good feeling, guys. Struggling for 2.5 years with Wi-Fi, and finally we're getting our act together, and we've got an Ethernet cable. And oh man, I'm just in such a good place, a good mood at the moment, guys. Honestly, I'm really, really excited to take this forward. My aim for the studio is nearly complete. Thoughts become things. If you don't know Kai Green, if you don't know who Kai Green is, Kai Green, have a look at Kai Green, guys. This man is an absolute legend in the bodybuilding industry, and I was a massive fan of his, still am, when I was growing up, and he used to say this thing all the time, thoughts become things, and I used to listen to his philosophy all the time, and at the time I didn't realize what I was doing. I used to listen to some of his speeches, some of his motivational talks, all of this positive, it was all about positive vibes, and I used to listen to it when I was in the military, just before I'd go to bed, go to sleep, and if you know how your subconscious works, when you detune yourself at night and you program your brain when you sleep, that's actually how it happens, I didn't realize that at the time. I would put these earphones in and listen to motivational positive stuff, and I would fall asleep with it on, and that's where I believe positive mindset of mine came from. And the one thing that stuck with me was he always used to say thoughts become things, manifestation of positive vibes, and it truly does become a reality. And everything that I've manifested in my brain has become it kind of, I don't want to sound like weird or anything, but that's how I do things. This whole idea was manifested in my brain over the past year and a bit, and thoughts become things. So I'm really happy at this moment in time, because I've proven to myself that it does work. So if you want to change things, guys, honestly, positive vibes, detune on a nighttime, listen to some positive, listen to some positivity, and think positive before you go to sleep. It actually goes a long way, man. I don't want to preach to you guys. I don't want to be that guy. Hey, Danilo Gopez, thank you very much for the super chat. Massive super chat. Man, I appreciate it, brother. And Brian Jacobs as well. Hey, welcome to the channel, Brian. I think I've spoke to you before on a few other streams, haven't I? But again, with a massive super chat, brother. Man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Don Backer, Gender Command. Have you ever seen Cinderella Man? I think no, I can't remember, but I've got a terrible memory. And when it comes to movies and stuff, everyone who knows me personally, you might as well not even ask, have I seen this or seen that? Because for me, I've watched a few things. I've watched Rocky, Rambo, Terminator, and that's it. I will refuse to watch anything else. I'll just keep on watching them over and over again. I've seen Rocky a million times. I've seen Rambo, all of the Rambos, millions of times, to the point of which where me, and this is a true story, me and I've got two Bezzy Oppos, best mates in the Marines. We're all like a trio of best mates. And Luke, my best mate at 40 Commando, who I served with 40 Commando with, we could like pretty much recite the whole of Rambo First Blood, no problem. And we used to do it at time to time. We'd get wrong and get in trouble for it as well. We would be known to start reciting Rambo on a helicopter somewhere, or on a ship, or in the desert. We just, any time it could happen, we'd start reenacting Rambo First Blood. So yeah, don't ask me about films or anything. Them's the films I've seen, and yeah, me being stubborn, I'll refuse to watch anything else. It's really weird, isn't it? Hey, Western Body, thank you very, very, very much for the super chat. Watch you and pass dollar to you. Still have 3 feet of snow here, man. Where you at, Western? 3 feet of snow. Where can you possibly be living? That's got 3 feet of snow. That's impressive, man. That's impressive. Good stuff. What else have we got going on here? Hey, troops, thank you, man. I'm very, very humbled. Jesus Christ, guys, this is insane. Spencer Onyxon. Jesus, that's 100 US. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for that kind super chat. That's very, very humbling, man. Very, very humbling. Troops, would anyone be interested in me getting the Just Boxing? I'm gonna send you it anyway. This link is right. Let's see if I can. I don't know if I can find it actually. I want to get you. I want to get you guys the link to the Just Boxing channel, because that is my next big venture, to be fair. Here it is. Here's the link. I'm banging it in the descriptione right now. And if you guys want to follow that, I'd really appreciate it, because that is going to be I'm going to spend a lot of time working on that, actually, the Just Boxing channel. I'm going to put a lot of effort into that, but the link is in the description, troops. Whoa, Spencer again with the massive super chat. Brother, you've been very kind. Please, no more from you. Please, keep your money, brother. It's very much appreciated. I'm extremely humbled by your kind generosity, but please, my friend, don't leave yourself short. Please. That's too much, man. Seriously, dude. I'm very, very grateful though. But please, man, that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money, dude. Wow. Let's get some love in the chat for Spencer. I'm humbled by you guys. Seriously, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that. That's very, very kind, man. Jesus. Wow, that's fantastic. AP, I like the studio brew. Oh, AP, are you from South Africa? Are you from South Africa, brew? Hey, brew. Definitely from South Africa. Yo, South African, 100%. I got a good friend from South Africa who I met in the Marines, actually. I'm not going to tell you his name because it's probably the funniest, awkwardest name on the planet to be called as a man. To the point of which I don't want to mention his name. Actually, I could mention his surname. I'm not going to give you his first name. His surname is Cock. His first name is Cock. Yeah, make of that as you wish. Right, what is this media source? I don't know what this media source is. I'm going to leave that out. Brian Jacobs. So, how do you feel about the Ukraine war? Yeah, let's get this kicked off. There's so much generosity in the chat, and we digress. Brian James. So, how do you feel about the Ukraine war? Right. Let me try and answer that. For me, I mean, I actually had quite a few arguments about this in the military. The first argument orientated around something similar to this kind of topic of war was the topic of killing, and it was actually with the U.S. Marine. I was in the Mojave Desert, and we had a bit of leave, a bit of downtime. And we were at the PX. PX, people who don't know, is just like a massive military superstore where you can get what you want and stuff. And we was going down there to buy the iPad Mini because it was when the iPad Mini first came out. And we had a few beers. The US Marines had a few beers. Notoriously, the Brits, we can drink, and in comparison, Americans can't. There's some guys who are served with in America who could drink a lot. The young Marines there, the US Marines, they couldn't keep up with us, and things were getting a bit leery, and the topic changed to about killing and stuff like that. And without going into too much detail, my response was, anybody who joins the military specifically to do that is actually in the wrong job. Is actually in the wrong job. Now, I'll not go into too much detail why I think that, but it was advice that was given to me by my sergeant in recruit training as I was trying to be a Royal Marine, and that's what he said. You're in the wrong job if that's what you've joined up to do specifically. It's actually it's a very small part of it. There's a spearhead of any military that get to do that on a semi-regular basis, and most of the military, it's not the main aim. It's not the job title. It's in the job description, but it's not an essential. It's a desirable if you need to. So that's kind of my mentality on it, morality and all that. Doesn't mean to say that you aren't capable of doing it as a trained soldier on a professional level. It's very different doing something out of professional etiquette and then morality. But holistically, I just think you shouldn't be joining the military if that's what you want to do primarily. So that being said, similar type of topic. Well, how do I feel about Ukraine? Well, I don't think any war anywhere, and this is my personal opinion, it doesn't count for anyone else. My personal opinion is that I just don't like war in general, and I don't think it can ever really truly be justified. If we're talking about justifications of war means the killing of individuals, and if I don't believe in, if I don't think you can truly justify killing anyone ever, there might be reasons as why you would want to or have done, or there might be some bloody good reasons. But if we're talking about morality, you don't get to choose what morality is. Morality is set in stone. It's either good or it's not good. There's in-betweens and stuff like that, but morality, you don't get to move the parameters. So the fact that people die, a lot of innocent people die in war, that means, it can't ever be justified. For me personally, there might be bloody good reasons to invade certain countries for certain reasons, but a true justification can never be, in my opinion, completed. So war in Ukraine, I think it's horrendous. I think it's absolutely horrendous. There's innocent people every day losing their lives, and I generally can't believe in 2022, after going through the worst few years the modern world has seen for obvious reasons, and then this happens. I just think the timing is horrific. It's despicable that innocents lose their life, and many people might be shocked at that. Me being a Royal Marine, a former military man, that's my thoughts, guys. That's my thoughts. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments. Spencer, unless I've missed something, if that's another one, that's absolutely phenomenal, man. Brother, thank you very much. Wow. Thank you, my friend. That's unbelievable. Thank you. Thank you, Spencer. Spencer with the super chats coming in thick and fast. Unbelievable. Thank you, brother. I didn't even know what to say to that, man. Spencer's kicking some ass, man. Mind blowing. Spencer, Onyxon, stay humble and spread good vibes, folks. I'm humbled in your presence, man. Thank you. Let's get that up there. Wow. Thank you, my friend. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. You guys surprise me every stream, man. Unbelievable. Wow. Right, so what were you saying? So that was my answer on Ukraine. Great question. Anyone got any other questions as such like that? Fire them away, man. These questions are pretty good. By the way, if I don't manage to get certain people's questions out there, because we are highlighting members and super chat questions, it doesn't mean to say that I'm not going to be reading through these. I do spend quite a bit of time, me and me dad actually, after the stream. Especially my dad, he looks at all of the questions, and he's like my dad filters all this information back to me. So what I miss, he'll be like, "Hey, did you see that? Or you heard this? Or this, the chat was really positive yesterday. Or yeah, you need to work on this." He's all over it. So I do get to understand the gist of the conversation the next day or the day later, if that makes sense. Spencer, you're a legend, man. Hey, Tony Kaiola, thank you for your super chat. You're saying, from Finland, we've been preparing since the 40s. We punch well above our weight, but the time has come that we cannot stand alone anymore. Thoughts? Yeah, great question, actually, Tony. First and foremost, I'd just like to mention this about Finland and Sweden as well. Your brothers, your neighbours, our brothers and neighbours from the United Kingdom. I've got a great respect specifically for Finland because you've brought this up, and Sweden. But because we're talking about Finland, let's talk about Finland. You guys since the 40s. Obviously, we all. If you're not aware what happened in and around that time, Finland, you put up with a lot of crap, for want of a better phrase, and I think lessons were learned then that have not necessarily created a paranoia in Finland, but certainly have created what's the word? You're a bit more cautious now about how you defend yourselves and why you defend yourselves, put it that way. And I do agree. I think this is proven. The one thing that this Ukraine war has proven, if you think about it logically, is the very opposite of what I believe Putin was trying to aim. He was trying to, cause separation, cause segregation, cause deprivation in the areas that he's showed interest in, especially Ukraine. But what it's done is it's bolstered and strengthened areas outside of those borders. You've got Finland and Sweden, who might have been tinkering on the idea of joining NATO. Now they're thinking of seriously considering it, all right? And it's, if anything, it's strengthening these groups, these organizations, because we've getting to see firsthand just how effective NATO can be, even if it doesn't directly involve itself. I mean, NATO is indirectly funding in weaponry, munitions, in intelligence, in loads of different ways, the Ukraine, and it's working very, very well. It's working well. We're seeing Ukraine fend off and what should be an overwhelming superpower fighting force, and they're doing it quite well at this moment. Yes, there's collateral damage, there's deaths, but many people thought this war would have been over in a matter of weeks, and it's they're still struggling on the eastern flank. Granted, there's a lot of land being took, but it's slowly and surely depriving Russia more and more as this goes on. The longevity of this thing, we know how bad Russia is logistically. They're going to struggle and struggle. So I believe, if anything, the Ukrainians can hold out with the support from NATO indirect, which proves the point that NATO is dangerous indirectly. What would it be like directly? We all know how that would go. So, yeah, my thoughts on Finland, and I'm implying that you are talking about Finland joining NATO. I think it's a good thing. Personally, I understand there's people in Finland who might not want to be part of that. Finland becoming part of NATO only strengthens the potential for the likes of Sweden as well. And, having them two neighbouring countries, especially being so close to the United Kingdom, it just adds another curtain up for Russia to, these are hard countries to get through. Making it making it isolated for Russia, making it very, very isolated. And I think they should feel isolated for what they've done with regards to the Ukraine. I just keep on thinking about, we always jump into, we're very easy to talk about the politics, but I always look at it this way. There's real people losing their lives here, guys, real people. And let's forget about this whole narrative of if you say anything remotely positive about any part of Russia, the people go, well, you must be a sympathizer. No, it's not the case. But on a humanitarian level, we need to look at all lives. And there'll be a lot of Russian soldiers who do not want this, but they have to do it. They're fighting, and you think, well, they don't have to fight, but the poverty over there, feeding their families, putting food on the table. I understand the military complex, how it works, and there'll be a lot of Russians who do not want this either, and they'll be seeing things that will horror them for the rest of their lives. And there's Russian young men dying, being taken out of the gene pool for a complete waste of time, for a political decision. It's terrible, no matter which way you look at it. On both sides. Not talking about politics and politicians, but the human cost at the lower echelons of society. That's where the real sacrifice is. Hey, Danilo Gopez, thank you for your super chat, my friend. I super appreciate it. That's very, very kind of you, brother. Who else we got? Brian Jacobs. Hey, thank you again, my friend. You're saying, love the channel, my friend. I appreciate that, dude. I appreciate that. We're trying our best. That's all you can do. You can try your best, and try our best, we will. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the love. Don Backer, we give them spare parts to repair 20 jets. That's a start. Let's go. Mrs. Teacup, you all need to join NATO, in my opinion. Spencer says, people forget America is melting pot. We are every ethnicity melted in one from all countries. Yeah, I agree. Something slightly off topic with this as well, but when we talk about, the war of independence and we all know what happened between Britain and America back in the day. This really bugs me, actually, because this is how I think. I'm not necessarily right for thinking this, and my opinion certainly isn't what I would expect most people to have. But when people joke about the British got their arses kicked by a bunch of farmers, I laugh at that because this is my take. The British, yes, they might have been farmers, but the British got their arses kicked effectively off their own people, off the British, because that was that. We kind of you get where I'm going with this, don't you? It's like they were our own people who we were getting our asses kicked off. So we actually kicked our own ass. I mean, there's some Americans in the chat. Let me know your thoughts on that. That's where I think. I mean, it might not be the right way, but please tell me you understand where I'm coming from with that, right? That's just the way I think, man. I'm going to show that by David Long. You're saying, I agree with the guy that said us Americans need to be sent over there and help Ukraine kick some Russian ass. I wish Biden would do it too. Yeah, I don't know if Biden's going to be too quick to do that. Especially when NATO's been quite effective, you know. NATO is being quite effective at this moment in time. Troops, there's the Just Boxing channel link. That link there, if you put it in the description, if you click on it in the link in the description, then you'll find my new channel, Just Boxing. I aim to get some content out at the end of the month, actually. I wish I could have covered the Tyson Fury fight earlier with my dad, but it looks like I'm not going to have the equipment in time. I'm waiting on a few things to come through, and then I'll be able to get that equipment. But hey, everything happens for a reason. I might actually do a live review on here. If you want to see that, go head over to that channel, and I'll do just that. So yeah, actually, I need someone to time keep for me. Once this, once we hit 1 minute past midnight, I need someone. If we go on that far, we might. I want someone in the chat to tell me so I can change this thing up here. I'll need to put Saturday the 23rd. So that is a real reference point, a real reference tool on the videos. So you get to know actually when it was. That was my mother. That was her idea. That's a woman's touch. You need women to implement the bright ideas. That if it was me, I would just went, nah, we don't need that. But actually, come to think of it, it's a pretty good idea, isn't it? Right, 24 minutes past. We've been streaming for how long have we been streaming for now? Where's my where we at? 47 minutes. Yeah, troops, smash that like button. Hit that like button, everyone, right now. Take 2 seconds out of your wonderful time to smash that like button to death. And if we could get, you know, something, if you could share this video, this is one thing I'll say. If you could hit that share button, and if you've got Instagram, if you've got Facebook mainly, if you could share that, put it to public, you watch this video like literally go through the roof, because then that's how things go viral. That's how things go viral. I think Facebook is probably one of the best places to do it, especially if you put it on, on public. You know, let's see if we can get over 1,000 concurrent views. 1,000 might be pushing it actually, but I remember the days we used to have 2,000 and 3,000. So hey, I don't know, let's see, just see if we can get 1,000. I'm gonna say 1,000. Hey, Marcus Walker, I caught you live. Yeah, we actually haven't been live for a number of weeks, mate. Like properly, because we've been doing this. Shit, getting it all done. Good to see you here, Marcus. Good to see you here, buddy. All right, what have we got? Right, this is not a super chat question, but I'm gonna put this up here. Let's see what we got here. Anthony Nixon, do you think war is human nature? No other animal has declared war on their own, only us. Do you believe that humans will always eventually wage war against another? Right, so again, guys, I'm not like the oracle of all information, but I'll just answer it the honest way. Whether I get it right or not, I'll just spurt it out and see if I get it out of my brain. This is what I'm going to answer this. Do you think war is human nature? No, I don't. I think war itself is a construct, isn't it? The acts that happen in war is very natural, though. All right, it might not be morally apt, might not be ethical, but it's very natural, believe it or not. Because you say no, the animal has declared war on their own, but the acts that happen and pertain to war, animals are actually probably more ruthless than us, because we have the ability to turn off that reptilian brain, which is irrationality. So animals, apes, chimpanzees especially, you see what they do. They're quite ruthless guys, okay? So I think it's naive to think that the animal kingdom isn't as bad as us. It's just perceived as not being bad because it's nature working in its natural natural. We're the top of the food chain, aren't we? Really? So I don't know. Probably butchered that, but that's the way I answer it. I do believe that humans will always eventually wage war against another. I think acts that occur in war will always happen because it is somewhat within our nature, you know. But the concept of war doesn't have to go on forever. But things that happen in war happen all over. You know, you look at certain gangs around the world doing the same things. They're just not organized as well. With, you know, it's animals do this. Animals do this. I think it's a myth to think that they don't. You see, you know, the chimpanzees are bloody ruthless. Hey, Carl Granith, good to see you back here, buddy. Profile picture looking absolutely massive. Thank you for the super chat. You're saying Sweden just got new sights on AK and soon new uniform. That's a good thing. I like the AK. I really do, man. Them things are loud as hell. AK-47 variants are properly loud bits of kit. Now, I was a GBMG gunner, and for a light roll weapon system, or classed as a light roll, it's a heavy machine gun, effectively. But it's, you know, you can use it in light roll combat situations, which is what I was trained as in one of my first jobs. Those things are as loud as it'll get for infanteers utilizing weapon systems in light roll, in a light roll capacity. But them AK-47s just rip through your ears, man. The sound, even blank ammunition is notoriously quieter. They're still loud as hell. Obviously, the fact that it's 7.62, you know, means that it's gonna, you know, potentially damage them ears anyway, compared to 5.56, which is effectively like a pea shooter. But man, I don't know, something about them AKs, the way they fire and pop, it's just a good bit of kit. I like them. I really like them. Accurate, easy to use, easy to clean. Good bits of kit, cheap as hell. Doesn't matter if it's made out of wood, plastic, or metal. They all do the same job. Good bits of kit, man. Tim Hefty, wow, I love the new set. I appreciate it, Tim. Good to see you. Hey, dude. I appreciate it, man. Drop a comment below in the actual comments part, not in the chat bit, in the comments. If you like the setup, just say cool setup or something. Let's spike the algorithm. All right, I'm just reading some of these chimp-based comments, and then we'll get into the Ukrainian interactive map, and we'll start having a look at what's going on over there, the news live situation. Someone's saying chips are brutal. Seen a vid was on here eating a smaller monkey alive, starting from its ass. What? Yeah, that's pretty horrific. Violence is human nature, says Bremer's Ghost. War is a construct of politicians. That you basically took the words out of my mouth. That's what I was trying to phrase together. That's it. Yeah, violence is human nature. War is a construct of politicians. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to state. Timberhill, love your new studio. I appreciate it. We've got a lot to do. We've got a bit of soundproofing to do and stuff like that still. A little bit of soundproofing. We're getting there. But little bit more soundproofing. Once we get a little bit more stuff in here, I think the reverb off the walls will stop anyway. Or at least it'll stop a lot. But it is what it is. We can manage. Terry W, love the man cave. Cool. Right, anyway, guys, we digress. Let's get into boom. That scene there. Right, so what I want to do is just do this. If you're on Instagram, go check us out, Dit Commando. Trying to build our Instagram up. Go check us out, troops. Right, so what's going on over here? Let's refresh this. Hey, troops. So Paul Forrest, 449, very, very specific number. That's actually my dad. So thanks for the 449, Dad. I'll get the burgers in tomorrow. Thank you. Hey, troops, let's get right. If you don't, you've got to follow this channel now. My dad, right? Me and him don't normally swear, but I'll put it in the old British way of saying it. My dad is a crazy bastard, and me and him together are crazy bastards. And you're gonna see a very different side to me. You're gonna see the only side to me dad on that Just Boxing channel. So if you don't follow that channel, I personally think it's in terms of boxing content. You know, as much as I give True Geordie shit, he's fantastic at what he does. But I genuinely think, and I'm telling you, what he does, I'm going to do better than him. I'm going to have a better channel than him. And it's not going to be because of me. It's going to be because of my dad. Don't be surprised if he squares up to me mid-podcast and wants to have a brawl on stream, drinking beer and lashing out. There's one thing for sure. It's not going to be me and him talking and agreeing with everything. It's going to be me saying something, me dad absolutely disagreeing with me, and a full-blown raging argument occurring live on stream. But we're more than happy for it to happen. Because this happens in day-to-day life, and everyone around us laughs. My mum can't stand us, you know, when we get going. But I thought, women can't stand us. That means by default, men who will tune in will be able to stand us. They will love that. So I thought, let's just make a channel out of it, man. So if you want to watch us talking boxing, drinking beers, maybe the occasional fist fight on the live channel, and go follow that channel, man. Seriously, it's going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait for that. Can't wait. But honestly, I can talk as much as I want regards how funny, how good that podcast is going to be. How it's going to be more than the podcast. That's one element. But I'm telling you now, that channel is. I would tune in and watch it. There you go. It's going to be good. Check that out, man. Seriously. There it is. That channel there. Boom. Right. Spencer, it's going to be... Honestly, it's going to be something else, man. I'm telling you. Right. So, here we go. So, what do we got? So it looks like, again, I haven't really studied this map too much. I do that kind of on purpose. I want to see what you guys have got to say. If you've got anything you want to add to this, let me know. Drop a comment below, all of that good stuff. But there's a very noticeable presence in the east. It was there was a lot of things going on sporadically in the northeast region anywhere. Obviously, since we've took control of some of the ports, Mariupol and other ports to the south, we've seen the fact that southern and eastern flank is pretty much dominated now by by Russia. Sorry, and I personally believe you can get too tactical about this whole thing, strategical, but whoever controls the ports there controls the region, all right? And it's in real simple terms. It's because you can resupply, you can restock, you can suffocate the individuals who are trying to fight there. I mean, if there is any Ukraine resistance left in that region, in the regions that are heavily dominated by Russians, they'll not be able to sustain themselves for too long. You know, that's a fact, because the ports, how are they going to get resupplied? It'd be a logistical nightmare, you know. But let's look at this a little bit deeper. 16 minutes ago, Canada said it has provided heavy artillery to Ukraine's security forces, following up on a pledge by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau earlier this week to send more artillery weapons to Ukraine in the face of a Russian assault on its east. So artillery helps in magnificent ways. It allows you to potentially, you know, and I say potentially because it's not always the case, fire those projectiles from, you'd like to think, a fortified, certainly a safer position. Not necessarily behind enemy lines, but that eastern flank there, hopefully if they can strategically locate them artillery pieces, they can fire some pretty long range weapon systems from them. And I say long range on the battlefield, not long range as in some of the kit and equipment that they've got, the ballistic missiles and stuff like that. Artillery pieces, obviously limited. They're just like big mortars, aren't they? Effectively, but they can get some armament across the battle space quite effectively from a reasonably safe position, which is definitely going to help Ukraine. And you don't want to be anywhere near an artillery burst. It's going to keep people's heads down. It's going to destroy infrastructure. You can be quite targeted. With your artillery pieces as well. Very, very effective bits of kit. All right, so more of them is good. Simple as that. It can't be argued. Kenneth Falsey, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. You're saying much love from Sacramento, California. Started listening to your YouTube about a month ago. Well, I appreciate you following us on this journey, and I'm really, really honored, privileged, and humbled to be able to at least put on these live streams for you guys. Okay, it's made me want to become more apt on what I'm doing. I want to be more clued up on certain situations regarding the war in Ukraine, and it's allowed me to progress and become more knowledgeable on the subject, because up until recently I was quite ignorant on Ukraine. So I'm glad we started covering it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I've just realised I need to change that. Why is that there? Might need to make this a little smaller. Nah, I think we're good there. There we go. Boom. Kenneth Falsey, appreciate you, dude. What's done back at our brilliant moderator saying? Black Sea Fleet has left port in Sevastopol because it's in range of Ukrainian Neptune anti-ship missiles. Right, there you go. So artillery pieces, that kind of thing, does have a direct impact on the strategies of the aggressors, and in this case, the aggressors being Russia. So when we say kit and equipment isn't everything, but kind of is. It's obviously how you use it, but Ukraine have proven themselves, just off fighting and potentially should have been overwhelming fighting force. They've done pretty well with what they've had, and then they've getting heavily resupplied and armed off NATO indirectly. And they're bloody making it work for them. All right, they're grafting over there. They're making it hard for Russia. So it is helping. The amount of kit and equipment that they're getting is working out for them. It's doing them a lot of favors. So I'm impressed with them. So it does more artillery, does more weaponry, does more money help Ukraine? Yeah, I think it does. I just think it does, quite simply, guys. Okay. So 37 minutes ago, what we got? Donetsk Oblast, red alert, aerial threat siren sound, and take cover now. Right, okay, so these are just generic things. An hour ago, Germany's Chancellor says he's reluctant to send heavy weapons to Ukraine because of the real-life threat of nuclear war. He compares this situation to that of his predecessors who had to watch Kremlin tanks crush democracy in East Europe. Yes, but they weren't very successful in the end, and it took brave men and women to fight against that. All right, I've got friends. I'm not that old myself, but I've got friends who I'm quite close to who served in the army, in the Marines back in the day when Germany was in full swing, when we had a massive British presence over there. So but people were scared then, but they still, they carried on. And at the end of the day, it kind of worked out in our favour, although they had to go around it the long way. It kind of worked out in our favour. So I think Germany's Chancellor needs to be a little bit more braver in the face of adversity. And they should be, as a public figurehead, they have to be strong. Strength and solidarity wins this, and I believe strengthening NATO gives a nuclear. People forget, right? We always use the nuclear war thing. Nuclear war is more of a threat to the average civilian than it is to the people in the know. So Germany's Chancellor is either very, very naive, or just telling lies about being scared of nuclear war. Because this is my take on it. Anyone who's been in the military knows that, well, anyone who pushes that button, and although we might think it's just one person at the top, there'll be a lot of people involved in that not happening as well. It's not just one person with a red button like it portrays in the movies, okay? It might seem that way, but it's not. There's processes that have to happen. Although be it it's those processes heavily involve the heads of state, there's other people involved to stop heads of state going absolutely rogue. There has to be. And with that being said, nuclear war, Russia. But NATO's got more nuclear warheads combined, and they can target Russia from a geographical scope far greater than Russia can. All right, they can be launched from all over the place, directed at multiple targets. And not saying Russia can't, but it's very naive to think that it's just a one-way street here. That button gets pushed there. It gets pushed everywhere else. So it doesn't end good for them either. So it's not like, they might press the button. They press the button gets pressed on them. So it's like we've got nothing to be scared of, because we know that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I don't think we should be to the point of which I think it's boring even talking about it anymore. It's like, if that was going to happen, it would have happened by now. What? It's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? That's not going to happen. Nah. What do you guys think? Maybe I'm massively off. I don't think anyone... You've got to understand, there's a lot of selfish, properly selfish, more selfish than you could ever imagine, individuals in governments and stuff like that, in all different sectors of work, right? But the people at the top, there's a lot of selfish individuals over there who want to preserve their life as well. And trust me, they're like going on holidays to these nice tropical beaches, just like me and you as well. They're like drinking the finest of wine and whiskey on the rocks, on planes, going to different countries, just like me and you. There's people who hate Western society and democracy and how we live, and they live in these other areas where that isn't prevalent in their society. But the rich of those society who are, massively contradictors, they like jumping on the planes, coming to our country and going to America, the place that they call, and all of this type of stuff. They enjoy them places as well on holiday. All right, don't be foolish to think that doesn't happen, and they don't get to enjoy the fruits of these free societies as well, because they bloody do. You just have to look at Kim Jong-un. He was educated in bloody Europe, like a lot of people would. What? The dictator of North Korea? Educated? He was educated in Europe, guys. All right, so he had his freedoms over here as well. The very freedoms that he restricts his people from. So don't think that these individuals are still not going to be selfish enough to think that, well, actually, I still want to go on my plane and visit these beaches and do all of the good things that we did before, because they do. Like, it's simple as that. Nuclear war, get it out your head. It's a scaremongering tactic. It ain't happening. It's not happening. Point blank. It's not happening. It just isn't happening. These little skirmishes keep us scared. Have a little, and I say a little skirmish. I shouldn't say that, but on a grand scheme of things, you know what this war does over here. This little pocket over here in Europe for the whole world. You know what it does? It keeps us all scared, man, thinking that this whole place is going to get obliterated with nuclear warheads. What? This little place here? This little bit here is keeping this bit scared. Everything you see there. Do you know what I'm saying? So forget about it, man. That's it. Kim Jong-un went to school in Switzerland. For Christ's sake, Switzerland, man. Of all places, a dictator is going to get educated. He gets educated in one of the most free democracies on the planet, Switzerland. You can do anything in Switzerland. You know what I mean? I've been to Switzerland. Fantastic place. Bloody expensive as well. You know? Come on. I don't know. What do you think about this? But I digress. Right, I'm just reading the questions here. What are you saying? It's like people are getting on about, Russia, nuclear warheads. Man, they've got this amount of nuclear warheads. Listen, Russia's got so many armed vehicles as well. Half of them have, it can't even fuel the bloody things. You know, we're talking about a country that fuels the rest of the world, but they can't even fuel their own bloody wagons in the military. Get a grip, man. Get out of here. Half of their vehicles were all 20, 30 years ago. Don't talk to me about their vehicles getting a kit and equipment now. It's not like Britain and America where we upgrade all of our stuff quite regular, you know, and if we don't, we maintain them at a high standard, you know. We've had to. We've been involved in severe wars the past 20, 30 years, you know. Get out of here with the nuclear warheads and how much they've got. Half of them will probably not even be put together. You know? Half of them probably won't even be working. They'll be old archaic bits of kit. That's just the way I think. I'm tired of the news acting like high schoolers, Spencer. I agree, man. I agree. Hopefully China doesn't take Taiwan. Mean Metal Mike. You know something? I promised I would start covering China and Taiwan. I haven't. I forgot about that situation, if I'm honest with you. Bremer's Ghost. Can we discuss the fires at the Russian Missile Research Center, the chemical plants yesterday? Accidental sabotage. Ooh. Troops start firing some questions away. Let's get some super chats in the house and we'll start covering that topic. I think that's a good idea, Bremer. Remind me on about that. Let's go. Right. Today, more airstrikes reported in Popasna. Where's that? Russian missile launches from that area there. Russian missiles. So there's a lot of missiles going here. Where's Mariupol? Right, what's going on down here? Battle continues near Azovstal. Right, why is the video not working? What's going on here? Right, so that's... Right, they're not working, are they? They're not playing. Troops hit that like button. Let's get the likes going. Right, what's here? What's going on over the... 2 Russian Su-27s and 2 Russian Su-24s violated Swedish airspace. The violation was short-lived and took place east of Gotland across the sea. Do you think that's as a result of... Wow. Do you think that's as a result of the whole potential that they might be joining NATO? Do you think that's what that could be? Hey, Margaret, how are you doing? A little bit of a, well, you got to watch yourself. Sweden's a big old country. They've got a good military as well. What's going on here? Missiles. Yeah, so we've got a bit of a... Right, hang on a minute. What's happened to this map here? Right, 2 months ago, what's happening here? That's mental. Right, there what's happening with this map? Right, I thought, so did you see that? That map, for some reason, shot back to 2 months ago, and I was thinking a lot of these places at the time, Mariupol especially, at the time wasn't it wasn't under siege, so to speak. And that's just made me wonder, wow, that this map, the Russians have made quite a bit of headway in 2 months. I personally see, the good old, we've talked about this quite a bit, how Russia, what they like to do, I wish I had another camera above so I could use that iPad, just like to speak the truth. I love that feature. I'm going to do that. They've got, in fact, I could probably use my phone, but let's look at this map here. This area here, not so long ago, was just a couple of spurs. Spur up here, spur up here somewhere. And then they've obviously filled in the gaps, doing that very well. My understanding of how this is probably going to work, you're seeing a lot of activity here along this spur. You're seeing various different activity up here. I believe the next bit is probably going to come. I think they're going to close this gap. In fact, yeah, you can see a heavy presence, a heavy-ish presence here. Quite a lot going on here. Wouldn't surprise me if this gap's going to be filled soon, or hopefully not soon anyway. But this is the next bit of red, I believe, just here. That's the next bit of red, which is going to encompass all of this. That to me is the obvious move. But I might be wrong. And then obviously you've already got this area fortified a bit. They'll probably start pushing this area a bit. So we've got, where else have we got? Yeah, there's not as much activity along this north anymore. Right, what is going on up here? It's a military deployment area. Yeah, there's actually not as much happening on this north border as much as I thought there would have been. Which is, I don't know, what do you think that is for? Why do you think that is, guys? Donbass, Russia needs at least 100,000 more troops for that. Sorry if I've been missing some of the questions. Donbass, Sweden has excellent equipment and weapon systems. Yeah, there's a tremendous YouTube series called Jäger Soldat. I covered it on my channel actually, and it's a fantastic YouTube series. It got quite a, I can't remember the name of the actual channel now, but it's a fantastic channel. Oh, what's it called again? And I will let you into a little something here. I don't know if this is if anyone served in the military, first and foremost, thank you for your service, but you'll know where I'm coming from with this if you've served in the military. You get, there's bloody good reason for it as well, but you get conditioned to believe that your military that you've joined is the best military on the planet. The very best. Just so happens that military that you joined is the best, actually. What's the chances, eh? Albeit, and this isn't even biased, the Royal Marines Commandos is arguably, it is the longest, arguably the hardest basic infantry course you can do on the planet. Keyword basic, all right? That's the key word, all right? So don't anyone special forces out there, don't get a sad on for me saying that, all right? It's the longest and arguably hardest basic infantry course on the planet. So everyone's military, they get taught when they're in, is the best. Okay, and I'm forgetting where I was going with this because I was concentrating on something else. Where was I going with this, guys? Where was I going with this? You know what? I can't remember where I was going with this at all. Is it really that time? Where was I going with that? Oh, Sweden has excellent military equipment and weapon systems. But, yeah. So everyone believes they're the best. And I left the military, the Royal Marines, with that in mind still, and a lot of us do. I believed it when I was in, I believe it now still, but it didn't allow me to expand my understanding of other great militaries, other fantastic militaries out there. I had this arrogance about me to think that no one would compare. The way we did things was the best in every single way. And when I watched that program, I watched it with an open mind, and I was prepared to learn new information. And although some things might have seemed, well, we wouldn't do it that way, but seeing why they do it a certain way opened my brain. And Sweden was the first time I did that. And you might not have realized that as I was doing it, but it really did open my brain up. And when it humbled me, it was like, something? We do some great things, but so do these. Sweden, the Jägersoldats, did some great things. Yeah, they had the way they selected job roles for the individuals going through training based on their strengths and weaknesses. I found, wow, that's pretty good. Instead of struggling through training, not being good at a certain thing, but they might be a fantastic medic, let's prep them for that. And I like that. Granted, it wouldn't work in the Royal Marines because we have to be multi-diverse anyway. You've got to be excellent in a lot of different things. So granted, it wouldn't work for us, but it opened my brain up to think they're bloody good as well. And it was the first time I ever did that. And I'll never write off any military ever again because, there's some excellent military men and women out there in military organizations that I would have, when I was serving, go, they're a load of rubbish without truly knowing and understanding it. So yeah, that's my little take on Sweden. I think they're fantastic. What we got? Don Bakker. What are you saying? Fortunately for Ukraine, Russia infantry and small unit leadership is total rubbish. Yeah, it's a strange one, Russia. Okay, I'm going to put this one up. Navigator 54. Dit Commando, I have to disagree with your assessment because I was in the US military in naval special warfare and my blood father was in the Highland Regiment of the SES. We in NSW knew. I don't quite understand what you mean, buddy. If I'm brutally honest with you. Highland Regiment of the SAS. So I'm guessing you're saying in a mountain troop, so to speak. You have like a boat troop and mountain troop, that kind of thing. So specialist in high altitude mountain warfare is probably what you're referring to, which is something that so many people don't believe. Like, the SES, for instance, they actually have like they think, well, Special Air Service, they're incapable of operating at sea, but you got boat troops and stuff as well. They're absolutely capable of operating at sea. Just like Royal Marines, people think, well, we're amphibious infantry, we can't jump out of planes, but there's actually quite a lot of Royal Marines airborne trained. So yeah. Sorry, Cowboy Bebop. I didn't mean to delete your message there. I apologize. Right. So, troops, what time is it? 23. If anyone's got any more questions pertinent to the topic, we can get into them if you want. How we normally do it. Ash Scott, isn't the SBS rolled into the SES nowadays anyway? No. Special Boat Service is still predefined as Special Boat Service. They are capable of working intraoperably, and they do on many occasions, I would presume. And I don't know for sure because I'm not part of either. Got many friends who are part of both. but that's where my knowledge is limited. But they're both very, very capable, both very, very small organizations, way smaller than you'd actually think. Yeah. But we do have a component that supports both that are rolled into one. It's Special Forces Support Group, which is manned primarily by paratroopers and Royal Marines. So you've got Green Berets and the Cherry Berries working together. So as much as people say the Parachute Regiment and Royal Marines hate each other and the rivalry, all of that, it's just a healthy rivalry, but they pretty much do the spearhead of their job. The spearhead of a Royal Marine or SFSG is effectively in SFSG for the Paras and the Marines. The next step up is obviously Special Forces, but as best as you can get in their fields is SFSG. So, yeah, they work together very, very well. Some of my best friends are Special Forces, are paratroopers, you know. So, I think we're going to, if we've got any members in the chat. Troops, if you want to become a member, the link is, in fact, the link isn't in the description. I was wondering, actually, we normally have about 10 members a stream. There is the membership link. I'm going to pin it to the top. If you want to become a member of the channel, like many of our, so Mel C is, wonderful people who support the channel, I would really appreciate it, you know, if we could get some members supporting the channel. And it is merely a support mechanism. Many people will say, we'll do this for you, do that for you. It's a support thing, and you get the little logo next to your name, all of that kind of good stuff. A few tiny perks, but it is a support thing. So if you want to become a member, then you're more than welcome, guys. I'd really appreciate the extra support. Mel C. So we're going to start highlighting membership and super chat questions now to keep the chat streamlined. And I'll say thoughts on US giving intel for Ukraine to sink Russian ship. I don't actually know about that. Please tell me more. But if they have been given intel for Ukraine to sink Russian ship, if the Russian ship was obviously in a military capacity in war, then hey, it's intel's intel, isn't it? You know, and I wouldn't think anything against America anyway, because you know they're obviously trying to support a downtrodden Ukraine in the first place. So, you know, right, what we got here? Also, you're talking about who's the best and stuff like that. Yeah, but you're getting the US Navy SEALs assessment was Israeli spec operators. Israel, fantastic operators, but the blueprint comes from Great Britain, so it's not even. I'm saying this with. I'm not. My heritage, only recently found out this, isn't entirely English anyway, and so my mother's got quite a predominant Scottish origin, all right, and I've got no real, because I'm British, SES, it's ours, that kind of thing, but it can't be argued the blueprint for Special Forces comes from Great Britain, and war in general, although it's a terrible subject, we pretty much paved the way for how it runs, how it works, how it operates, strategy and everything. So I can't say we are the best at making weapons. I can't say we're the best at making car tires. I can't say we're the best at making computers. But there's one thing I'd confidently say, although we might not have the biggest budget or the money or anything, if there was one country's model of military you'd like to go off and then give it an infinite amount of money, it can't be argued that it wouldn't be the British model, because everyone took the British model, incorporated it into their own society, put their own budgets onto it, and made it in some cases better. But it's our blueprint. That's where it comes from. We own the blueprint for that. That's a fact. But I appreciate your point. Spencer, you're American gent. No, I'm not American, but I've got a massive love for America. Hey, Rico Suave with the super chat. You're saying, love your new setup, brother. Why do you think Ukrainians don't open up a major shelling campaign of Belgorod while most of Russian forces are tied in Donbass? I think it comes down to ability, capability, and what are they going to do post-shelling campaign. We know they're probably going to struggle to resupply in the same way as they did before. To get a lot of shells in place, you need a lot of infrastructure in place. Not just weaponry; it's transportation of that weaponry. So we've just seen earlier there was other countries. I think was it Sweden or Finland or someone was going to up their donations of artillery pieces to the land. But you need to be able to get those artillery pieces in a specific place to be able to fire upon target. And then once you've destroyed, so how it normally works, not always. If you're going to heavily bombard an area with artillery strikes, you need to have a follow-up procedure. Normally, that follow-up procedure will involve ground forces and a large number of them moving in on that position. So maybe it's down to ability, capability, and whether or not it's worth the risk. The risk-to-reward ratio has to be worth it. So there's loads of factors being put in place. They might heavily damage the area, but if the follow-up procedure isn't, if the follow-up action isn't effective, then that ground can be retaken. So, does that answer your question? Hopefully it does, buddy. I meant because you're mixed heritage, man. That's where we are. Yeah, hey, Spencer, I appreciate that, buddy. I've seen some funny. I'll laugh at some of the names. You guys need to go on Google and change your names, man. There's some funny names on here. Oh man, Putler, Rob Rich Putler. I get you, buddy. Right? Are you British, Rob? That's such a British thing. You got to be British. You got to be from Leeds or somewhere, have you? Oh man, that's funny, man. USA here. I would beat Putin's ass for GP. Escalate as you want. What are you going on about, man? The chat has went snaggy. Right, let's have a look at this. This is something I wanted to. This is something I wanted to cover, guys. Boom. Ukraine civilian casualty update, 18 April 22. Let's zoom out a bit. There you go. Zoom out again. Right. Troops, smash that like button, please. Smash it. Smash the like button. Let's get some new members, man. There's a few guys on here. Who's regular in the chat. We need to become members, man. Troy Davison, you need to be a member. Who else we got? We need to get some more. Smith Crazy, you need to be a member. Who else we got? Who's that funny comment from? Rob, you need to be a member. Get the. Let's get. Here's the membership. Boom. Become a member, troops. It's literally a cup of coffee per month. Let's go. It's a cup of coffee. Right, Ukrainian civilian casualty update, 18 April 2022. So like nearly 5 days ago. From 4 a.m. 24th of February 2022, when the Russian Federation's armed attack against Ukraine started, to 2400 midnight on 24 midnight. A typo there. On 17th of April, local time, the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights recorded 4,890 civilian casualties in the country, 2,072 killed and 2,818 injured. This included a total of 2,072 killed, 537 men, 327 women, 38 girls, 60 boys, as well as 71 children. 1,039 adults whose sex is yet unknown. So those numbers are incredibly tragic. Incredibly tragic. Smith Gay, there he is. Smith Crazy is the member. Welcome, dude. Let me know if I should update those. If I should update your logo. That logo, Smith Crazy. Obviously, you get a green badge next to your name now. And you get a green logo. That changes every month of membership. But let me know if I should update those. Are they crap or what? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they need updating. Tragic. So on government-controlled territory, 1,712 casualties, 653 killed, over 1,000 injured. On territory controlled by the self-proclaimed republics, 391 casualties, 79 killed, 312 injured. These numbers are incredible. Hey, John Brosen, thank you for your super chat, buddy. You're saying, if the Russians are able to finally take Mariupol, once they have solidified their forces there, do you think they will make a move on Moldova in the next month or year? Very, very good question, actually, that. Now, I was speaking about this maybe it's a day or two ago, and my take on, I think, I don't think it matters regardless of Mariupol. I think that's probably inevitable. You just have to look at how much they've progressed through that area. And so long as they hold the ports in and around that area, it's going to become harder and harder for local resistance forces to be able to fight through. I think they need artillery and airstrikes to be able to blast them areas and then get ground forces on. But, you know, Ukraine are defending themselves at this moment in time. I don't see that happening anytime soon. So I think Mariupol is just, it's destined for doom, unfortunately. That's just my personal opinion. I might be massively wrong on that. But I do think Moldova, you've got to think about what is Moldova geographically. Geographically, it's just a country that's almost pertaining to Ukraine anywhere. Without an effective fighting force, you know, some people might argue against, but Moldova hasn't really got an effective fighting force. It's easy pickings for Russia, and it's a land grab, and a land grab gives them more power strategically. And it also, Moldova, you know, is not just an easy-ish country to be able to dominate. If they take Ukraine, they take Moldova. I see that happening almost instantaneously. I don't think there'll be a fight for it personally, but it's where Moldova borders. That's the interesting thing. So that's what I think. You've got to look at where Moldova borders. So let's look at Moldova border countries. Land Moldova is bounded by Ukraine to the north, east and south, and by Romania to the west. The bulk of the republic lies between the Great Mendring Prut and Dnitr rivers. So population just under 3 million. It's not a massive area, all right? It's not a massive area, but it's the countries that lie in and around that area. And I think Moldova, yes, it's wrong for me to say we shouldn't really worry about Moldova. We should, but it's the countries that are bordering Moldova that need to really be worried about it, okay? You know, Romania must be, for want of a better word, shitting themselves, you know? Let's have a look at this map here. So, I'm just going to get this map up. Yeah, so we got Ukraine, so Odessa, then we got Moldova in the, you know, it's like the south in the middle, slap bang in the middle of the south of Ukraine. All right, you've got just to the left-hand side of Odessa. And then you've got Romania. It's dangerous for Romania, especially the fact that they share coastal border with the Black Sea, and Russia being quite devastating there. But if Romania are worried, Hungary, Slovakia, Poland, all of these other areas need to be worried as well, in my opinion. You've got a strong opposition in Poland, that's for sure. I'm not too sure about Slovakia. I don't know what their military scope is. If someone could help me out in the chat. I'm not too sure about Hungary or Romania, actually. I wouldn't imagine their capability is through the roof. I would say in that region, probably Poland, Ukraine have the strongest capability. I might be wrong on that. Someone could help me out. I know Moldova is easy pickings. That's an easy land grab. And I think that would be almost simultaneously. It might even happen as Russia encroach. So let's just go to this map here. So we've got Moldova there, right? What could be a possibility, and I'm just surmising here. There's Moldova, all right? We've got this big land grab happening. This is Moldova there. Further east, these guys push. I mean, it only takes for Russia to start encroaching here. You know, they do their little tactical pincer movement, or whatever you call it. They'll grab some land there, and then, you know, if they were to do this again, which they have been doing, they could quite easily control that area. And if they're controlling that area, is there going to be any resistance for Moldova? Would they continue moving on the borders of Moldova around just because it's Ukraine, or do you think they'd actually fight through Moldova and take that as well? For me, it depends on how much resistance is there. I mean, I don't know. Would Ukraine help Moldova, even though they're trying to help themselves at this moment in time? Would they be expected to help Moldova? I'm not too sure. I don't know how it works, to be honest with you. But I personally see it being an easy land grab for Ukraine. That's my honest opinion. R&R, hey, thank you for your very kind super chat. You're saying peace to all who gather here. That's very kind of you. Yeah, and I agree with you. Peace to all who gather here. Thank you for that super chat. It's extremely kind of you. And a lovely, lovely statement. Sly Walker, Jenny Commando, big love from Australia. Hey. Keep with the good content, much appreciated. Thank you from our Australian brother Sly Walker. I did when I was in. I didn't serve with this guy, but I went through my first stint at the Commando Training Centre with a guy from Australia, and he's bloody hard as nails, like proper hard as nails as well. I'm not going to mention his name. He's a bloody lunatic, but hard as nails, and I think he might even be in the Aussie Commandos now. So he'll have been in nearly 20 years. I first joined the military in 2005. A very, very young boy, 15 and 10, 11 months I was. It's just ridiculous when I think about how childish I feel I am now at 33. It's mental. It is mental. I can't get my head around that, actually. 3 more years, it'll be like 20 years ago. Been very, very lucky in my time in the military. Escaped a lot of horrible stuff, actually. Escaped a lot of it. I'm not going to be one of these guys who professes to be a real-life Rambo or anything. I'm not, guys. I'm not any of that. I'm just a normal guy. I just happened to pass a very, very hard course. But in terms of being humble and what I am, nothing special, troops. I'm nothing special indeed. Right, what else have we got? Spencer, Australians are awesome. Troy Davison, God bless Ukraine defenders. Here. Hey, Smith Crazy. Let's go. Smith Crazy is a member. First actual member of the first member of this stream. So thank you. Rico Suave, thoughts on Enfield L85 SA80 off topic. I like off topic curveballs. We've got to have an off topic curveball every now and again, El Troops. And let's have an off topic curveball. Hey, Satan himself is a member. We've got the devil supporting. Oh well, if you can't beat so you can't beat me, you're joining me. Is that right? There's a saying about the Royal Marines and the devil. Watch this. Let's have this, right? There's a saying you just reminded me there. On the 8th day, God created Royal Marines, and the devil stood to attention. Back in the day, that meant a lot to us, but now that I'm a civilian, it's kind of Chad, really, isn't it? On the 8th day, God created Royal Marines, and the devil stood to attention. So Satan himself. Welcome to the Gender Members Club. That's pretty cool, man. Rico Suave. Right, I'm going to get your question in, Rico, but we welcome Satan himself. There you go, proof. Welcome to the club, buddy. You are the second guy. But Rico Suave, thoughts on the SA-80? Right, I'm gonna put it like this. A lot of people who have used the SA-80, you've got to understand this. Obviously not exact in terms of my percentages, but a bloody high percentage of the British military in general. You've got the Royal Navy, you've got the Air Force, you've got the Army with many different parts. You've got artillery, you've got engineers, you've got mechanics, you've got infanteers, you've got armoured infanteers, you've got an unbelievable array of individuals who will get trained to use, at the time, the main weapon system of choice, the SA-80. And then you'll get those very, very small amounts of each one of those that I've mentioned there. So the Royal Navy, holistically, they'll hardly ever fire an SA-80. But the Royal Navy's fighting contingent, the Royal Marines Commandos, will be heavily utilising that weapon system. All right? Same as the parachute regiment in the army, same as the rifles, the grenadier guards, the Coldstream guards, very, very proficient with using those weapon systems. But even all of those being mentioned, it's still a very small part of the bigger picture of the military. So what I've found is you'll hear a lot of people talk shit about the SA-80. Yes, it wasn't the greatest weapon system on the planet, but it was bloody effective enough to get us through some horrible, horrible wars, and we got through those wars very effectively with that weapon system. It was a good weapon system. If it didn't truly do what it needed to do, they wouldn't have used it and put people in harm's way. Was it shit when it first came out? Yes. It was terrible, all right? Especially when our guys were using the SLRs, which was our baby. You know, the British military loved that weapon system, but it was time to move on. It was big and cumbersome. You couldn't utilise it in a close quarter combat situation unless you were clubbing someone over the head with it. So versatility was out of the question in that respect. Could it blow someone's arm off from bloody hundreds of meters away? Absolutely, but it lacked in other areas as well. So the SA-80 was introduced as an assault rifle, and it did morph into a good weapon system. And I say it did morph. It wasn't when it first started out. The A2 was good. The A3 was bloody really good, I thought. Really, really good. Is there better weapon systems out there? Yes, but, a lot more technical to use. The SA-80 is an extremely easy weapon system to master. So what would you rather do? Would you rather be a master of a weapon system that's not as effective, or not very good at utilizing a better weapon system? I would say become a master of one that's a little bit less effective, actually. That's what I would choose every day of the week. So yes, it is good. The people who normally shit-stirred and said it was horrible are those who weren't really used to using it that often, quite frank. That's what I've found, and those in special forces would say it's not very good. But that's because they become very, very, very good at utilizing better weapon systems. So yeah. Clearly, but they had that option to utilize those weapon systems. At the time, Royal Marines Paratroop Regiment, we had, unless you were in Special Forces Support Group or in a specialized role using C8 or various different weapon systems that were more technical, SE-80, it was our weapon of choice. All of the lads I knew it was easy to become very, very good with that weapon system because that's all we used. We used it all the time. We got a lot of range time in, so I liked it. And most of the guys would have, probably preferred a different weapon system, but we weren't complaining when those rounds were going down range, and it was, we become very good at it. In the Mojave Desert on training packages, getting to, use that weapon system over and over and over again, becoming really, really good at utilizing that weapon system. So a lot of people shitting it, didn't really know what they're talking about. Are the Royal Marines changing the way they operate in terms of they're not using it anymore? But that's because we've got a different role now. All right, we're going back to our roots. We needed a better weapon system that was more versatile. But with that more versatile weapon system, will become to train on that and become as good as you were with the SE-80. It'll require quite a bit of transitional training. So. Yeah, SE-80, I liked it. Hey, Marsbound 2024, thank you very much for your $20 super chat. Super appreciate that, my friend. Super appreciate that. What have I missed? Have I missed anything else out? Troy Davison, do you think Russia can handle the logistics of taking Moldova? No, I don't think they can handle the logistics of taking Ukraine. Never mind Moldova, but guess what? It's not stopping them. They're cracking on anyway. Okay. Smith Crazy. Last USA land grab was buying Alaska from Russia. Vanilla Gorilla. SE-80 has a longer barrel than the M4. Makes it a little more accurate. Yeah, I had no problems with the SE-80. I had some good fun with it. It's so easy to use, which for me, being able to little things like getting a magazine on, getting it back into action, boom. What would you rather do? Would you rather have a weapon system that might be able to shoot a little bit? The variables on the average soldier of these weapon systems are unnoticeable, untraceable. You don't know what it's doing better. You're not you might be a professional soldier, but you're not proficient, like magnificently proficient with that weapon system. Not like special forces will be, where they know everything about that weapon system. They could probably fix certain parts of it. They're extremely proficient with utilizing that. They'll notice the little variables, and they'll be in situations where those variables might make a bit of a difference. But you've got to understand the enemy most of the time are just picking sandy weapon systems up, rust on, and getting them down range, and they can still kill you. So SE-80, decent weapon system. I would not complain if that was my only weapon system that I would be able to utilize. I would, in fact, right now, if someone was to go, what weapon system would you have to utilize based on my subject matter knowledge on how to use that weapon system, I'd be most confident with picking up that weapon system right now, apart from maybe an LMG or a GBMG, which I was a GBMG gunner for quite a while, so that was another thing I was happy with using. But it's a big heavy weapon system. It's used mainly in a support role. It can be used in a light role, but you don't want to be going through clearing buildings with that thing. If I had to live in a situation where I was going to defend myself now, and I needed to know right now I need to use that weapon system, would I be confident right now picking up an SE-80? Absolutely, right now. And I've never fired an SE-80 for about 6 years, so I'd be very confident with that. Very, very confident. It's an easy weapon system to master, if that makes sense. Rob Rich, how large are Royal Marines? What, in stature or in how many people are members of the Royal Marines? Greatest club on the planet. Active fighting, less than a few thousand, about 6,000 to 8,000. It goes up and down. Not a lot at all, to be fair. Probably is much less than that now. Troy Davison, you're saying, I don't think Russia has the command and control, the handle, the logistics to go as far as Moldova. You're probably right on that, to be fair. You're probably right. John Bronson, if I missed a super chat, buddy, I do apologise. I do try to get through the super chats, guys, when they come in as a priority, but sometimes we do miss them. Vanilla, I just don't care for the bullpup design. Look like a monkey effing a football to mag changes. Yeah. Mars Bound 2024. Thank you for your super chat, buddy. You're saying thoughts on captured foreign fighters in Ukraine, such as captured former British soldier. My heart goes out to them. I will say this for people who maybe think that they are a little naive. The former British soldier will have known definitely what the potential was. Going into it, knowing exactly what he could potentially get himself into. That being said, my heart goes out to him because what a horrific situation to be in. Now, the regiment he was pertaining to back in the day tells me he was in quite a while ago, because I believe those regiments are now amalgamated into either the Rifles or the Queen's Division or something like that. It's different to what we think. So that being said, prisoner of war can't be good for anyone. Don't care how hard you are, how tough you are. Can't be a great situation to be in, can it? Just can it, guys? So my heart goes out to him, simple as that. And I truly wish him the best. As little as that sounds, it's I wish him the best. You know, hopefully he gets out of this. Well, he's not unscathed at this moment because prisoners of war. I don't see how he can be unscathed. But terrible, guys. It's terrible. We're coming up to 2 hours now, troops. I think if you've got any more super chat or member questions, or really, really special non-member questions or non-super chat questions, then now's the time to do it, because I think we're probably going to wrap this up. This was a little bit of a test stream. Boom. To test out little angles like this. I'm going to get a couple of more angles involved in the stream, actually, just to change the dynamic of it a little bit, not too much. But if you do like the way this is went, if you do like the camera angles, how the scenes look and stuff like that, please let me know in the comments right now. Smash that like button, give me a point of reference. If more people like it, then that's a good thing for me. But yeah, let me know, how does it look? If there was any changes you would like to see implemented, let me know that as well. These are live streams, so it's I don't script the live streams. But if you want to see scripted stuff, for instance, I'm a huge fan. Go tell this guy of Speak the Truth channel. Now, I don't know if he scripts his uploads, but he is uploading, so potential to edit is there. If you would like to see this format of stuff, but edited down with more of a topic to talk about, then although it'll take more work for me, I'm happy to do that. If you want to see that, let me know. Hey, Rico Suave. Welcome to the Gen Dip Members Club. You are the third member behind. You are after Satan. Satan got here first, though. If you want to be part of the Members Club, guys, press the join button or hit the link in the chat right now. Spam in the chat. Members, I love the members. Appreciate you guys. Rico. Let's go, Rico. Vanilla Gorilla, I appreciate your super chat, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. You got to go to work, mate. See you next time. See you next time, brother. But possibly tomorrow. Possibly tomorrow, actually. Boom. Navigator, one last off top. Navigator, I've given you loads of non-super chatty, non-member screen time today. I like the name, that's why. One last off-topic question. What Scottish clan is your mother from? I don't know, but her surname means small. Her family she's, I think it's like 70% or something Scottish. The rest is made up of Nordic and Scandinavian, I think. So Viking, which is pretty damn cool. Which makes sense for her being in Scotland, because they've got to have getting there from somewhere, right? I don't know. They were from Paisley, I think, which is a bloody tough old place, I think. But yeah. The reason I talk, he might watch this, he might not, but I know he watches the channel sometimes. I've got a Scottish friend who was in the military. We give each other a bit of stick now and again, and he gives me stick about being British, blah blah blah. I found out that he was bloody half Welsh for a start, and making him 50% Scottish or something like that. And it turns out that in my family bloodline, I'm technically, although I'm from England, I'm pretty much more Scottish than him. So I came back and went, hey, I found out this. I'm more Scottish than you. So I started giving him shit. I'm English though. I'm English through and through. But we've all got roots from somewhere, haven't we? Spencer, I got that English Norwegian blood. Damn, warrior spirit, man. Boom. Sly Walker. Hey, Sly Walker. Yeah, I didn't see you there. I got in the members. Let's go, Sly Walker. I don't know why it didn't show. Speak the truth. Yeah, Rico, he's pretty cool, man. Dustin Evans. Thoughts on the crazy circus going on in the House of Commons with Prime Minister Boris Johnson? Partygate. Does he survive this? Yeah, I think timing is key in politics, and I think the right timing is going to help him. I think the British public is quite forgiving. I don't think we care too much about it now, to be honest with you. You might think the narrative is, Partygate, get him out, but he's the Prime Minister of our country. It's one of those situations where things happen where you bang to rights, but legitimately, if it was anyone else, they'd be going, oh, bloody hell, I can't believe this. Have you heard what's happening? I've been getting a fine. Why? Because I had a few people around. Well, I had a few people around. Yes, the government were making the rules up. Should a man lose his job over it? What was he doing something a little out of the ordinary? He probably bent the rules a little bit. Do I think he was having a full-on party? No. I think if that's what you consider to be a party, then you have never partied in your life, and you need to go out and start partying, because if that's considered a party, then God knows what is, because that's not a party in my eyes. Was there a bit of a meeting in there? Yeah, definitely. Of course, there's always meetings going on. He's a bloody Prime Minister, for Christ's sakes. Did he bend the rules slightly to suit him? Of course he did. Of course he did. Had a few pizza slices, had a few Jack Daniels on the rocks, didn't they? But, they thought they'd get away with it. Should anyone get sacked over it? I can't believe I'm saying this, but Biggie, how many of us wanted to do that? You know what I mean? It's like loads of people brought the rules, man. It just is the way it is. You know what I mean? He's only doing what everyone else wanted to do. I know he's the Prime Minister, but you know what I mean? Come on, man. You need to lighten up the background, Joseph. Actually, it's in fact, I'm going to show you something. It's actually the effect that I've wanted to create. So I'm going to show you something, actually, buddy. Right, so let me show you this. I'm going to cover the screen up. Boom. Right, so this is my phone. So see that light there adds to the effect of that wall. The walls are actually painted black. So I wanted to create that. If I turned the lights off now, you wouldn't be able to see anything. So trust me, I'm lighting up certain areas. So this is the phone that I'm using. As you can see, it's very, very bright. There's a camera over there. There's a massive light there as well, just over my head. So the place is thoroughly lit. You just might not be able to see it in the same way as I do. Does that make sense? So it's lit up, buddy, but it's the effect that I wanted to create. But I appreciate you feedback, buddy. Appreciate your feedback. Carrie is an FSB agent. God damn. Bremer's Ghost. I see a red wall and want it painted black. Rolling Stones. Welsh is cool. It certainly is, boyo. Right, troops, it's a little after 2 hours now. Any final members, any final questions, get them in right now. Brian Jacobs, that's crazy. It is bright. It looks good on my end. Yeah, it's good, man. It's as I envisioned and wanted it to be. But yeah, bearing in mind, let me have a look on my phone. Yeah, I'm happy. Honestly, I'm happy with the way it looks. It's kind of what I envisioned it to be. Things are going to change, Good lighting from this angle. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Yeah, I think the key with all of this is from what I've tried to replicate, and I need to let people know, like, although I'm doing this, I literally don't have a bloody clue what I'm doing. Like streaming and computers and lighting and all of it. You got to think, to be a successful YouTuber, you've got to know a little bit about production. You got to know a little bit about editing, marketing, advertising, camera, videography, photography, you name it. And lighting and sound engineering. It's bloody insane. But I'm grateful that I've been able to get a little bit of understanding and learn. But you've got to be a little bit of all of those, and I am not any of those. Like the good things that I was good at was soldiering, and there was people who were way better than me, but that was what I was good at. And boxing and getting angry now and again and talking shit. That's what I'm good at. So although it might not be like the perfect standard for a lot of people, trust me, guys, for me to even get to that, I can't complain with my own efforts, because I don't know how I've even gotten this far. So that's my take on it, if that makes sense. Brian Jacobs, last one for the road, my friend. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, buddy. Navigator Commando. I think the black walls are a good idea, as it cuts down on the camera shine and keeps the lighting from being too bright and washing out the detail. That's kind of what I read. I did read on that, actually. I was like, try and do that. We trying, guys. But I wanted to. I wanted to create a shot where that's going to be, if you're going to subscribe to my other channel, Just Boxing, if you check the about section, you'll know that this will become like a friendly face, so to speak. So I want people to be like, that's the podcast, See, I want it to be recognizable. Does that make sense? Marsbound 2024. I appreciate your generosity, my friend. Your super chat question says, what drew you into content creation on YouTube after your time in service? It seems like a big departure, but I so appreciate your channel quality. Great question, actually. So, I'll tell you what got me into content creation, and this is what will test your. If you're a fan of something, if you're a fan of cars, for instance, a true fan though, a diehard fan, you'll probably watch things. We all watch stuff. Whatever you're a real fan of, you'll watch. You're a fan of cars, you like watching Top Gear. Chances are, somewhere down the line, you will manifest the idea of getting some of those vehicles, or a vehicle that you've been watching for some time, and people will know that you're into it. You manifest what you're into. So I was actually a massive fan of YouTube, not just watching videos, but YouTube in general. I was really interested in it. All right. I was really interested in it. I watched loads of channels years ago, but I was watching the content, and I didn't realize I was doing this subconsciously behind the scenes. I was thinking a lot about, wow, how's he done that? Oh, wow, that scene looks cool. Oh, his desk setup looks amazing. The content he's doing, how does he do that? Why has he thought about doing that? I was always wondering, that's cool. And then I bought a camera and I started taking loads of pictures when I was in the military. And I got a real interest and passion for photography. And then I started getting into videography, albeit at a very, very low level. And I was terrible at it because it wasn't my gift. I wasn't talented at it. And then, I started watching more YouTube. And then I seen eventually in 2020, Original Human. And I found out he's a Royal Marine. I was like, man, I tried setting up channels before. Didn't have a clue. They were terrible. It flopped straight away. So I contacted him. He told me how he was doing it, and he just gave me some great advice. That dude is such a nice guy. Go follow Original Human. He is the reason I'm on YouTube now. He gave me that platform to start with and help me out. So I got into this through about a 10-year-long indirect interest in all of the things that make a YouTube channel possible. So you just have to have an interest in something, guys, for it to become a real big part of your life. You don't need to be expert in anything for it to become an interest of yours and for you to do semi-well in it. You just have to have an interest, and that interest with the hard work will get you there in the end. So that's where I got it from, But I'm really glad I did. It's the most enjoyable thing I've ever done in my life. The Royal Marines was enjoyable for me from an egotistical way. I enjoyed telling people I'd achieved something really hard. The job itself, though, if I'm honest with you, did I really, really enjoy it? Some elements, yes, but a lot, no. And most people will say that. Take away the ego, most people will agree with that. Boxing, I love the ego of it. Telling people I was a boxer and fighting, it's manly, isn't it? But did I like getting punched in the face? No. If you do, there's actually something wrong with you, So do I like creating content? Yes. Is there any caveats to that? No. I just like it. I like all of it. I like the setting up the studio. I like the comments. I like the fact that I can speak my mind on here to a degree. I like the fact that I've got a community who want to watch. I like the fact that I can interact with people. I like the fact that I can provide for my family through this. Does that make sense? Most importantly, I can put food on the table for my wife and my kid. That's very important. And some people like to shy away from talking about that like a taboo, like the elephant in the room. But you're making money. Yes, that was the aim. And having achieved that and getting into a position where I can fend for my family in that way, what's not to like? That is a positive, isn't it? That is a positive thing. Hey, Victor Garul. Love the man cave. Hey, thank you, Victor. It's always good to see you here, brother. And thank you for your kind super chat. As always, my friend. As always. Drop a comment. But right, I thought the comments were stopping. Sooner get hit in the face than the liver. Tell me about it. Guys, you've been very kind. You've been amazing to chat with, as always. Thank you, guys. Go check out my other stuff. If you want to go and check me out on Instagram, then I'd really appreciate it. Dit Commando is the channel. Go check me out on Instagram. Trying to build that up. It's also a pretty good way to speak to me on an individual level as well. I don't get to answer all the comments, but I certainly get to read most of them, and I mean literally most of them. So it's more interactive if you want to speak to me direct. Follow me on Instagram. I do some different stuff on there. TikTok as well. I'm actually, if you're not in it, you're not going to win it. So I'm going to put some very different stuff out on TikTok, motivational stuff as well. Some motivational things. So I've got some good things coming on TikTok. I've got a lot of good design assets that I'm going to use on there. So stay tuned for that. I think I might try and grow a TikTok channel. I grew secretly. Not many people know this. I grew like a TikTok channel to about 12,000 followers in about a month, and then I deleted it. I don't know why I did that actually. pretty stupid, really. I could have been a millionaire now off TikTok. I don't know why I did that, but we've got another massive super chat. Mars bound. Whoa, Jesus! Final gift. Thanks for sharing and for being a genuine personality on this platform. Enjoy your weekend. Super, super appreciate that, my friend. I tip my hat to you. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Thanks. Mars bound. Thank you, dude. Isbo, keep up the work. Don Backer, always a pleasure. 9 minutes to St. George Day. 7 minutes now. Sly Walker, Mars bound is a champ, mate. Yeah, buddy. Thanks, Sly. But Jen is the one who served. I tried, but medic disqualified. Hey, like I said before, mate, I'm nothing special. I will say that I served with some very special individuals. I don't profess for 1 minute to be one of those. I passed a special course, but I don't consider myself to be special in any way, shape, or form. I served with some magnificent, special individuals who did some unimaginably hard, difficult things. But I have no shame in saying I wasn't one of those individuals. Partly because of the opportunity, the opportunities that came my way were I'm grateful for in the military, but the opportunity to become great, the opportunity to become a real life Rambo within the military, a real legend among those fine individuals, those opportunities didn't necessarily come my way to be recognised in some of the glorious ways that for the likes of Kyle Carpenter, the US Marine, is. Those opportunities didn't come my way to be great like them. I passed a great course, but that's where that kind of stops, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Do you get where I'm going with that? I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be anything other. But yeah. Hey, troops, I am going to thank you, love you, and leave you. I'm going to pick up some extra questions that may come my way in the chat. What I will do is hang fire in the chat, even if the stream is off. I will stay in the chat until midnight, so it's officially St. George's Day here in England, if that makes sense. But how cool is that, by the way? Before I go, phone, right? Simple app. I mean, this blows me away, and I'm a simple guy. I click on my phone, right, under an app, and then I press a button, and then, whoa, look what we've got. We've got a camera from my phone where we can have a look at the... Like, how cool is that? Is that just me being sad? Is that me being sad? There's the camera angle that I'm looking at there. See that? Boom. Like, that's pretty sick, right? Man, my beard needs trimming. I think that's cool, man. I think that's really cool, but I might just be quite sad. I don't know. Simple things in life, sir. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, Bremer's Ghost, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I kind of agree with you there, buddy. Hey, troops. Yeah, it is, boy. It is simple. It's. I think it's cool as hell, man. Looking good. Hey, troops, how you doing, man? Good to see you guys. We're hanging up the gloves now. I think we're gonna. I'll pick up any remaining questions that I can in the in the chat, troops. But thanks for supporting me. Thanks for being here. And yeah, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful, guys. I'll see you in the chat. Got a few good videos coming your way, actually, which I'm going to record and get out to you as soon as I can. But for all the members that have joined, for everyone who's gifted, who's donated, who's super chatted, who's contributed to the channel, thank you guys. You guys are the best. And if you've just joined, make sure you go check out the stream post. And I'll see you very, very soon. Take it easy, troops. I will be in the chat until midnight. I'll see you soon.